All right, good morning. It is 9:05, so time for the morning warm-up stream. Doing some uh, sketching, doodling, 3D sculpting, lots and lots of concept sculpting over the last couple of weeks. And so we kicked off today with some stuff out of, we're actually going to bring a figure over, or have brought a figure into Zbrush from Daz Studio. And I'm going to be working with the Genesis female base because I do a ton of work for Daz and release a lot of stuff at Daz. It's there's a lot of things I could say about doing that, about the folks who support that stuff, and what an outlet it is for 3D artists to kind of create super cool stuff. Just there's a lot of benefits to it, a lot of cool things going on there. But rather than waste time getting into all that silliness, I am just going to jump right on over to ZBrush, where I have the figure loaded, and we're going to start messing around with it. So what I want to work on today, I think, is doing some concepting on this. So we're going to subdivide her up a couple of times. Now, since I am a PA at Daz, I have access to there's an HD morphing plugin that you have to sign some paperwork and stuff for, and it's like you have to be you have to be one of the PAs there to get that and all that sort of thing. So I'm using that here. If you're not a PA at Daz, you won't have access to that. Sorry. But the point of what I'm doing here isn't really so much the Daz part of it, it's the ZBrush part of it. And it's really just using a human figure to get started with some, fast tracking, some sculpting anyway. So let's get on into this. And let's see, I am thinking about just playing around with the forms a bit. And I really want to keep coming back to this idea of, working with kind of some things that are a little sexier, a little more alluring in 3D, creating more characters along those lines. But I'm really kind of fascinated with the idea of the sexy alien sort of. I don't know if you can call that an archetype, because it's something that I wouldn't call it an archetype. Like, you can go so many different ways with it. There's not one thing you can point to and say that's an archetypal sexy alien. So I like to often start off storing a morph target at my lowest geometry level, so that if I move a bunch of stuff around, I can switch back to it. Sort of gives me like a little save point. Excuse me. So let's start off. I really kind of just want to mangle this mesh a little bit and see where we end up. Pardon me. It is. I've been up for quite a while already. Got up extra early today to get a workout in, and taking the dogs out, walking, and do all that fun stuff. I'm curious, like if I want to do something that is just really wildly additive to the anatomy, then I will often do it I'll actually sculpt new meshes that go on top of it and work in different ways. So if I hit a point where I'm just like, this idea really just needs a different topology, different mesh, then that's when that sort of thing might come up. So right here though, I'm gonna Pardon me. I'm gonna jump in here and pull these ears around. Play with some shapes on the head. Pardon my yawning. I have not had enough coffee this morning. I've had some, but I really want some more coffee. Maybe some tea. Okay. This is a nice way to get going on something like this, where you start kind of killing some of the more human features. Ugh. Those are the Friday yawns. It is definitely Friday. I'm looking forward to the weekend. Right. I want to make the eyes like much larger in this. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Let's inflate that back up a little bit. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's one of those happy accident moments. I like the lines that makes. Let's grab a damn standard and kind of follow those out a little bit. I am so sorry. I wish I could stop yawning this morning, but I think that's going to be a fixture for the day's stream. I like that, but I feel like it needs more coming down this way. Let's see if I can take a look at this for a second. This is very experimental here, so I really don't have a thing in mind. I'm just spitballing to see where we land. Whew. Man, I'm gonna pop over in the chat and see if that helps me wake up a little bit. Probably don't have anybody there. Oh, we do have some people there. We got Roman. Roman's in this morning. Sean is there. Gina is there. You move the desk. Oh, Gina's asking me if I moved the desk. Probably because things looked a little different when she was here back last January. Let me fix this camera a little bit here. Gina. Oh yeah, you'd totally be proud of me. My weekends I go kick my own ass all over the place. Yeah, I moved the desk. Actually, that desk that was here is gone. There's a whole new giant desk in here with a whole, like, everything's changed from what you saw back in last January. Whole studio's changed. There's like shelves, bookcases, table, a workbench back behind me, crazy airbrush station. Oh yeah, I've been expanding a lot. Yeah. There's the airbrush station right back behind me. Sometimes you can see it on camera, probably not today. And good Lord, the 3D printer. The big workbench back there for like 3D prints, and then for doing stuff with I started indulging myself in doing things with D&D miniatures again, like building terrain and stuff like that. So maybe I'll pull some of that stuff on the stream sometime and show a little bit of it. I love doing that stuff. I really do. That's so much fun. So, but yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, you're gonna dig it. You're gonna dig it. It's very different in here now, and it may even change more by the time you get to come out. So, all right, let's pop back over here. I want to play with this mouth a little bit. Since my theme, and what I'm planning on doing, like an ongoing theme with, like, it won't be every day I'm gonna do it. It's just like sometimes I want to come back to this theme of the sexy alien, and some things that I think about with it are just like the general design lines and, you know, anatomy that you want to accent or take away from. So, you know, there's a lot to consider. I tend to go with smoother surfaces. And that tends to keep some of the base, you know, it just tends to be more I guess, provocative. You know, you don't think of something that you want to be as a beauty makeup or something that's like sexy as being rough. I mean, you might. I don't know. Whatever your thing is, I guess. But you know, I like smooth things. There, we just added a whole bunch of height to it. So I'm going to add another subdivision on here. Start to really mess with some shapes. Going for a more muscular sort of look right there, but not too much, just more of a hint. I am probably going to need a nap. Like, literally have to take a nap after this. Let's accent the hips. Really bring out the hip girdle. Pardon me. Yet again. That's awful. Awful, awful. I don't want to overdo it with that stuff. Just want to kind of complement some anatomy lines. I don't do designs like this all that often, which is kind of why I set it as a task for myself. Sort of getting into the idea. I do like where this is leading me. Oh, Lord. Horrible, horrible, horrible. That's kind of a cool shape. Sean says old Ral Partha miniatures. Actually, no. I have been buying just different minis from different places here and there, but been printing, 3D printing a lot of my own sculpts, and that's been really cool. I think that You know, 3D printing, especially resin printing, is going to revolutionize that whole hobby in some really wild ways. I think it's kind of already done it, and people are just sort of catching up. There we go. Let's play around with some shapes on there. Let's push into this. I'm seeing a possible opportunity for something a little different here. Ho ho ho. It's the Friday morning yawn fest. I think I'm running on like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours sleep, so. Gina's gonna laugh. I'm finally getting old enough that 4 hours sleep is a little, it's not quite enough. I do actually like to get a little more sleep than that these days. She knows me from back when I literally only slept 4 hours a night on a regular basis. Now I try to get 6 anyway. She just says, you're saying you're almost human now? Almost, but don't count me down just yet. Kind of like that. Let's see. That's got some potential. Let's go back up here and revisit this face a bit. Let's see where we're at. Let's do a quick turntable. Alright. It's an interesting sketch for the morning. It's got potential. It's got potential. Folks in the chat, you got anything you'd like to add? Some thoughts you'd like to toss out there on that? Because I think that's it's an interesting shape. I'd like to spend some time developing that out. But this is definitely, you know, the morning streams are really intended to be shorter than they tend to be, honestly. Like, I probably won't push too much further on this unless you guys have some ideas you want to toss out there. Gene is asking, says, I'm going to ask a question. Hopefully you'll get to it. All the neat details like muscular stuff. Would you use the HD morph to transfer that all into DS or normal maps to save on resolution? I'd use both. I would do both. I would use the high-res mesh that's here as an HD morph inside Daz Studio. But I would also take the low res. I would apply this as an HD morph. Then I would turn the mesh to its base resolution, but with the morph turned up so that I can see the cage, see how the topology is affected by that. And then export that low res mesh, or maybe at subdiv level 1, and take that into Substance Painter. And inside Substance Painter, I would then reference the HD mesh to generate normal maps in there. So I would have both the HD shape in Daz Studio and normal maps generated in Substance, plus whatever painting and texturing that I do inside Substance on it. Yeah, her arms are kind of boring right now. Let's jump back over there and do a little bit of stuff on those. I'm going to be honest, I am super tired this morning. So, it's like, it's one of those things, you know, it's like, I push myself super, super hard, like all the time. And by Friday, a lot of times I am ready to cut out anymore. You were talking about weekends. I just bought a couple of kayaks. And I am itching to get back out to the lake and hit that water with my kayak and just get some peace and quiet. So I'm also hoping to maybe this fall get into some hunting. Because I would like some deer meat. Maybe some venison. Yeah, I am definitely looking forward to the weekend. Half the time I end up doing work on the weekends. It's just not on as tight a time frame, or like I tend not to work on deadline specific stuff on the weekends. Oftentimes the weekends are when I get to learn new things. Or I'll take a day on the weekend and do nothing but music. Like, you know, kind of like the music that's playing right now. That's some of my music. And I love doing music. So the weekends are kind of a good time for doing that stuff. On alternating Sundays, I run a Dungeons and Dragons game, you know, stuff like that. I think that's kind of interesting. Adds a little something to it. I'm always kind of funky about dealing with hands and trying to take a figure like this and do something interesting with the hands, because I would just, most of the time, I would just rather model something fresh. It's also really easy to end up repeating yourself a lot. And God, I so prefer, most of the time I really do prefer doing just original meshes, because working on the human form so much, it's got its benefits, but it just feels so easy to repeat yourself all the time, and that gets boring. I like that little extra form there in the lip area. That's kind of cool. All right, let's focus on that. Oh, not bad. Not bad. All right. Let's see. Her head reads Egyptian to me, says Sean O'Neill. I like that. You know, elongated figures is probably going to happen on this. Gina's funny. Sean says too many pots on the stove and 3 stoves going. I relate to that. Yeah, I tend to be pretty busy. I just got a lot of interests, you know, just lots of things I'm interested in. So, you guys are funny. Gina's funny. She's known me long enough. Gina, for those who don't know, Gina is kind of like a sister to me. I pick on her like a little sister, so we have fun. Oh man. Well guys, I think I am gonna cut it a little bit short this morning. I hope no one minds that. But you know, I feel like I've got a shape here that's pretty cool. I'm gonna save it, probably revisit it another time. Come back and see where we can land with it. I might do something with it off stream and then come back and talk about where I end up with it, because sometimes trying to do this stuff on a stream is a little weird, because I want to be interactive with folks, and depending on like where this morning in particular is, I'm like super foggy. It's a little hard to like be super focused on the model and try to interact with everybody and stuff the way that I like to. So I feel like I'm probably not going to give my best at both, but sharing that is kind of a cool part of a stream like this, because I think a lot of times, everyone wants to always put their best side forward. I know I'm bad about that. I do not like showing, showing the weaknesses in things, or areas that might bug me. But this is one that does, is when, the, whether it's work fatigue, or, being scatterbrained because you got too much on your mind or whatever, that stuff can lead you off track. And sometimes you gotta make an adjustment or whatever so that you can deal with it and keep things moving forward. So I tend to be pretty good about keeping things moving forward. And so with that in mind, I'm gonna call it on this one today. I do feel like what I have there is pretty decent. Like I didn't spend as much time as I normally do, but I feel like I knocked something out that I like. Like I actually dig it quite a bit. And it came out quicker than the other streams usually do, which is nice. Kind of look at it and go, huh, that's pretty cool. And it was super quick. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add to it at this particular moment. So I'm going to keep an eye on the stream for a second. Gina said, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for inspiring me again. Well, I appreciate that. It's nice to be able to inspire some people. She also said, I need an assistant. Ain't that the truth? So I think my significant other, Janice, is probably going to start kind of helping me out with some of that kind of thing. So we'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. See if she can put up with me in that context. But yeah, it's good stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to sign off for the morning. Thanks to the folks who hung out here for a little bit and talked. It's always good to see you guys in the mornings. Nice to get a little crew of people I can start my day with. It's kind of neat, actually. I don't think I've ever had that before. So as always, remember, like, share, and subscribe if you're someone who's watching this, after the stream's ended, when it's just sitting there for rewatch purposes. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, as always. And don't forget, go to 6s1.com, sign up for the mailing list, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, all the usual joints, all that groovy stuff. And, I'll see you folks back here same time Monday morning. Thanks.